That was a bad clap. What's going on, my dudes? It's your boy, Beardson Beardly here. You can see I got a new haircut, so that's, looking kind of fresh, I guess. I don't know how I feel about it just yet, but, we're gonna rock with it for now. We're gonna rock with it now, but hey, that's not why we're here. I'm not here doing a video on my new haircut. I'm here doing a video on my first day impressions of New World. Now, this was a game that a lot of people on stream and asked me if I'm going to buy, if I'm getting it. Are you getting it? Are you getting it? I'm like, I don't know. Because I've actually been really excited for this game for like 2 years, at least, minimum. Me and my buddy saw it a long time ago, and we're like, man, this looks dope. It looks like a Dark Souls MMO. I think I have ketchup in my beard. I was eating some Burger King, which was a mistake. But we were looking forward to this for a while, and then I got actually invited to one of the closed betas, and I played it, and I was like, this is kind of neat, but I'm not sold on it. I'm actually not sold on it just yet because the content was pretty stale in the closed beta, I thought. And then the open beta came around like back in July, and I played it for about maybe an hour, 30 minutes, and I was like, yeah, I'm not feeling it. I'm not really feeling it. So I was very hesitant to pick up New World because I was like, I don't know. The combat just didn't really click with me yet. I thought it was very monotonous, and the content was just more, kill 5 of this, collect 5 of this, etc. Standard MMO stuff. I've played a lot of MMOs, okay? So I need something fresh and new to really grab my interest, and quite frankly, I'm playing Final Fantasy XIV right now, and I just didn't really feel like getting torn away from that. But the launch hype got me, and I was like, you know what? It's a brand new MMO. It's always exciting to play a brand new MMO when it first comes out. Server issues, cities are swarmed, they're filled to the brim with people. Quest zones are totally overloaded because everyone's around the same level trying to do the exact same shit. It's just something very exciting about it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to pick it up, and we're going to try it out. And I did a little bit of a stream yesterday, but I was having some technical issues and things like that, so I wasn't able to really stream my whole full day. But I played, I think Steam told me about 14 hours yesterday. Now, some of that was obviously I was like not really playing, and I was waiting in the queue. Which I guess should be the first topic of discussion that we talk about right now. If you pick this game up, you might have a queue. Now, the original, I actually ended up running in with a few friends, and they wanted to roll on Valhalla, but Valhalla was literally maxed out to the point where you couldn't even enter the queue to enter that server because it was capped at 25,000 people. So we couldn't get in there, and so, we had to go kind of a plan B, so we rolled on Pleroma, I think is the name of the server. And at the time, the server queue was pretty small, and it was maybe 75 to 100 people. Not too bad. It took you about 10 minutes to maybe get in, 5-10 minutes. And throughout the day, people would log off, go eat, and then come back and play the game. And then they'd quickly realize that the queue had ballooned up to about an hour and a half to 2 hours, which was pretty brutal, to be honest with you. I mean, the queue sizes hit about 500, 600, 700, up to 1,200, 1,400, 1,500. And I think eventually they capped out about 2,000 players waiting in the queue by last night's estimation. So it was pretty rough. But that's, honestly, and I'm not one of these fucking simps that's like, oh, but the corporation can't do a better job. But it's, it's a day one launch MMO, and it's not that I'm okay with it. It's just par of the course, you know what I mean? It's just to be expected, I guess. It's not good. I wish, an MMO would be able to launch and be able to do these sorts of things effectively, but I can't give it any negative points for it having the same exact launch issues that every other MMO has ever had, okay? So it was unfortunate, but it's not that bad. It wasn't that bad for me. And then honestly, I logged in this morning, no queue time at all. I've been able to log in and play. I've logged in twice now, actually. I logged in and went and got my haircut, and I came back, and I logged right back in, and it is, as of recording this, 12:18 Eastern Standard Time, and there's no queue time, so that's pretty good. I'm not going to complain about that. Now the meat and the potatoes of the game, and I'll actually show you guys. I've got them pulled up here. My character right here in my game. So this is me right now. This is where I am. I'm level 14, and I have decided to focus on the fire staff and the life staff. I'm normally a sword and board guy. I really like sword and board and melee weapons and things like that. But I decided to maybe change things up a little bit because, the PvP in the game is so heavy that I thought having a ranged couple of weapons would be good. And also, I'm not going to lie, the reason why I chose live staff is because you put all of those points into focus. What else do you get with focus? Fishing points. Fishing line tension, and just better fishing overall. And you get a 10% cooldown reduction for fast travel, which is really nice. But yeah, a lot of fishing stuff. And my goal is in this game, to be perfectly honest and blunt with you guys, I want to be the best fisherman in the world. That's my goal. So that's what I'm focusing on. But you have your 8 stats, or your 5 stats here. Strength, dexterity, intelligence, focus, and constitution. Constitution is your health, focus is your life staff, and your intelligence is more of your offensive magic and your musket and your rapier. Dexterity is more, for like the bow and the rapier and things like that. And then your strength is for your big melee weapons. You also have weapon mastery here. So you actually don't pick a class in this game. You actually just pick up a weapon and start using it. So for instance, I've leveled up Fire Staff up to 5 and Life Staff up to 7. That each weapon has their own skill tree where you slot in different abilities and things like that. You get 3 abilities that you're able to use at any given time. I honestly kind of hate that. That if I had a pain point, number 1, it would be that. The fact that you're only able to use 3 abilities at a time. It makes the combat feel a little monotonous because you're just sitting there spamming the same 3 abilities each time. Not a big fan of that, to be honest with you, but the abilities overall are pretty cool. I mean, Orb of Protection, this is just for the live staff, the Orb of Protection, and the Beacon's really cool. So the Beacon, I basically cast that onto an enemy, and then they radiate healing energy. For me, not for them. So if an enemy is going to come in close for melee and they're gonna fuck me up really bad, I cast Beacon on them and I'm sitting there getting healed by the enemy. Pretty cool. Like, I really like that a lot. And it also works on allies and stuff too, of course. But you can also respec for free up to level 20, so you can kind of mix and match, play around with this. And I do like this system a lot because it allows you to really customize your character in any way that you want. Aside from that, like I said, that pain point of only having 3 abilities per weapon. Other than that, though, the amount of customizable options that you have for each character is pretty in depth, honestly, and you can really kind of experiment and play around with what you like. So you can go Life Staff and Ice Gauntlet, or Life Staff and Musket for a full range build, or you can go Life Staff and Sword and Shield and become kind of like a paladin and be able to heal yourself while you're tanking or whatever, right? So there's a lot of different things you can kind of experiment around with. And then again, of course, same thing with the perks and everything like that too, the attributes that you get. There's a lot to play around with and things like that. On top of that, you also have trade skills. These are all your different crafting options. Weaponsmith, armoring engineer. I'm not going to read them all. You guys fucking read, right? But there's really a lot of different things that you can do in this game job-wise, and you're not locked into anything. You don't have to pick a class at the beginning. And this is what I really like a lot. It feels like the Skyrim system or the Elder Scrolls system, right? You use something and you level it up. You level that specific thing up, and I love that system. It's so great. So if I start jewel crafting or engineering or armoring, I can just do that. I don't have to go talk to somebody and go train and all this. I can just do it and learn and gain experience for that thing and level it up individually from my character and everything else. It's awesome. And like I said, same thing with the weapons. The more I use the Fire Staff, the better I'm going to get with it. And the more things I'll be able to do with it, right? Same thing with the Great Axe or the Rapier or the Hatchet or the Musket, whatever. You just use it and you level that thing up. It's totally awesome. And it's in tandem with leveling up your overall level, which is where you get, every time you level up, that's where you get your attributes. It's great. Great system. It's really vibing with my brain, and it's, really scratching that itch that I've had for a game like this here lately. So very happy with that. This is just a first day impression, right? So I don't know everything. I'm trying to go in really as blind as possible because to me, the fun of playing a new MMO is, for lack of a better pun, getting yourself immersed in a new world. It's so fucking corny, but it's true. I like not knowing everything and learning things as I go and learning how to play the game and stuff. So I don't really know. Oh, this isn't going to be like some in-depth guide or anything like that. I plan on doing more videos on this game down the road the more that we play it. So I'm just kind of giving you guys my first day impressions, right? Then you also have the map and the territory standing. So there's 3 different factions in the game. You've got the Marauders, you've got I can't even remember the names of these fucking people, the Syndicate, and then you have the Covenant. And I'm, of course, a member of the Covenant because they're basically the Templar Knights. They're basically the Catholic Church, and I think that's pretty based, in my opinion. So we're rocking with them for now, and probably will for the remainder of the game. I don't plan on switching anytime soon. And they get to take over different areas. As you can see here on the map, the Marauders have basically taken over Brightwood and Everfall, and the Syndicate has taken over Windsward, and the Covenant have taken over First Light. And these people will actually go to war with each other. As you can see, there's an upcoming war between the Marauders and the Syndicate now at Fort Windsward. I mean, essentially, the Marauders are trying to sit here and take this over. I haven't got to really play around with this system yet or anything like that, so I don't really know what all encompasses or how it works or anything like that. But very cool idea in concept, the fact that you have these 3 factions literally going to war over each other and different territories and things like that. And those affect things like the tax rate. So, you have to pay money to craft stuff in a certain town or whatever. Or if you own a house there, you have to pay property tax and things like that. All of these little things in the economy are affected by those things, right? And it's very cool. And you also get territory standing. So each one of these territories, you actually can level up in. You're standing with them, and it's basically, so here's how it works. Is like I'm known in Monarch's Bluff. I'm a newcomer in Windsward, right? And with this stuff, you get different perks, and you get to pick these perks. I'll show you here in a second and actually save this just to make this video. I think the Marauders just took Monarch's Bluff. That sucks. The Marauders are fucking taking over. Wow, that's funny that I'm shooting this video and that happened. That fucking sucks. All right. Because we're the Covenant. But as you can see, my territory standing bonus is I get more storage, I gain more XP in Monarch's Bluff, I get more territory standing, and I gather faster even in this place, which is pretty cool. And you do that for each individual place. So right now, I leveled up. I'm going to pick one. I'm probably going to go with XP gain for Windsward because it's a starting area. And I think you can probably respec these things later down the road. At least I hope so. But we're going to go with XP for right now. And yeah, and there's territory standings, there's resources and stuff. The crafting and gathering is pretty simple. It's not too in-depth, really. But, I mean, it is and it isn't. It's basically just click the thing and you craft it. But there's a lot to craft. And it seems like crafting and gathering play a very big part in the game. I mean, at least from what I've been able to gather. And again, first impressions, day one. And it's pretty fun. I mean, honestly, I love if I had to rate the fishing minigame, I love the fishing minigame. It's really good. It's not as good as Final Fantasy XIV's by any means. I don't think anything could be. I think Final Fantasy XIV's fishing minigame is better than probably standalone actual fishing games. But it's good. It's fun. It keeps you engaged, and there's good rewards and stuff for it. So I give that a big positive. Finally, I mean, well, not finally, but finally, we're going to get onto the combat, I guess, of the game, right? I like it. It's good, and it's also awful at the same time. Let me kind of elaborate on that. It feels good, right? It feels really good. Hitting enemies, the abilities feel fun and fresh. It's very refreshing playing a game that's not a tab targeting kind of MMO. It's something new, and it's very action oriented, and I like that a lot. And being able to use and experiment with different abilities and stuff feels really good. Being able to switch combat on the fly and basically become switch classes basically during the middle of combat feels really good. The only problem that I really have with it isn't the combat itself, it's the AI. The AI is real hit and miss. Sometimes it feels fine. Sometimes it feels kind of buggy and broken, and they'll just start retreating in the middle of combat. But it never really feels super exciting yet. And granted, I'm only level 14, so I don't really have a big point of reference for the in-game dungeons or anything like that. but it very rarely feels like kind of exciting and dynamic, I guess, even though it should be because it's a more action-oriented MMORPG, right? So I'm looking forward to maybe starting to do some of the dungeons and stuff later on, and I'll probably wait to make another video until I can kind of play around with that piece of content in the game. But the enemies are just kind of meat shields. That's kind of what it feels like. They have attacks and stuff, and you can kind of dodge them, but they're all about the same, really. They'll lunge at you and knock you down, and then they'll charge up a big heavy attack, and then that's really about it seems like. And especially if you're a ranged character, it's pretty easy to just stand on the ledge and just shoot them. So, not the biggest fan of that. The PvP combat, however, I really, really, really like. It feels really good, to be honest with you. I really like the PvP system in it. I gathered about me and 4 other people, got into a group. We all flagged for PvP, and we went around looking for trouble. And we found it quite a bit. Not as often as I wish. I wish more people were flagged up, and I'm hoping that maybe once people realize how fun the PvP is in this game, especially because it's all open world PvP, you can just go out, find people, fucking gank them, do whatever you want. That more people will flag and turn on their PvP flag. I think I think part of the problem is the game doesn't do a good job of communicating how to turn on your PvP flag, to be honest with you, or that there's bonus. I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know if there's bonuses or not to turning the flag on. I really don't. I have no idea. I heard somebody said that there was a 10% XP increase for having it on, but the game just doesn't really do a good job of communicating that. So I wish there was more communication in that regard when it came to having that on. But when you actually find somebody that has it on, it's really, really fun to do that kind of content. The combat, it alleviates the problem that I had with the combat with the AI, where you're fighting someone, it's dynamic, it's fun, it's nail biting, it's tense, and it feels really good. But we maybe killed maybe 10 people yesterday or so. Died a couple times, admittedly, and it's really cool, though. I mean, the PvP is going to be the big selling point for me in this game. And I'm not a big PvP guy. I never really have been when it comes to MMOs. But I'm really, really looking forward to checking out the PvP in this game. It feels very similar to, I would say, like Elder Scrolls Online PvP. Which, I never played a whole lot of Elder Scrolls PvP, just Elder Scrolls Online in general. I got a max level and kind of quit. But I will say Elder Scrolls Online PvP was probably the best MMO PvP that I've ever played, in my opinion. And if it gets anything close to that, I think we're going to have a really fucking good time being able to go out in the open world, wage war, take over territories, and fucking own people, man. I'm excited about it. I think that's going to be the real selling point of this game is the PvP. I think that's the thing that's going to keep people playing and hopefully give this game the longevity that I think it's going to need. I'm trying to think if there's really anything else for me to comment on. I like the graphics a lot. The audio is really good. I really like the art style. My character looks totally dumb right now, to be honest with you, because of this chest plate. But I mean, there's some really cool looking characters in this game. Let's see if we can go out and find somebody really cool. I really like all the armor styles. Like, look at this guy. That guy looks really fucking neat. That guy looks. I think that's store armor, if I'm not mistaken. They have an in-game store, but it's only cosmetic for now, so we're not going to complain about that. Like, I don't really mind it too much. I can show it to you guys. I mean, there's just a couple different, there's consumables, which are just dyes to dye your shit. There's emotes. There's armor skins. Nothing too. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. You know what I mean? So, weapon skins. There's housing items. Like decor, and then there's like crests for your company, which is basically your, for your guild or whatever. This is our guild here, the Friends. We are the Covenant right now, it's really cool though. I'm really, really happy with the game so far. I'm having a good time with it. Yeah, look. I think this is like the pre-order armor or the deluxe edition armor, maybe. I don't think it looks that cool, so I didn't buy it, to be honest with you. But it looks a little bit cooler in game, I guess. But overall though, I'm really liking everything. I mean, the cosmetics look cool, the armor looks cool, the graphics look really great. I like the art style, not too overly realistic, not too cartoony, just kind of somewhere right down the middle there. The audio is really good, the music's really good, the combat feels good and fun. The actual content itself, I guess maybe we should talk about, doing the quests and stuff. Nothing to write home about really so far. To be honest with you, there's not a whole lot to write home about. It's about what you'd expect. Go kill 5 of these. You know, you can see my quest log on the side there. Hunt elk, skin them. You know, defeat turncoat at the Grey Mist. You know, search chests, things like that. Nothing too out of the ordinary. But I think adding the PvP flag on is a big improvement to making the content feel less stale and more exciting. And yeah, and also, I mean, it's kind of cool to. I will say the world is pretty fun to explore because of not only the gathering system, but the emphasis on the gathering system, because you're able to go out and do these boring quests, but on the way you might find like an iron ore node or something like that, something that's that could be kind of valuable. I need some of that to make this and level up my blacksmithing, things like that. So there's this nice like chain reaction to doing the quests that kind of alleviates the boringness of the actual tasks themselves. I mean, I spent like an hour yesterday just trying to find hemp so I could make a fishing pole, and you know, when I finally found it, it was pretty nice. So, yeah. And so far, though, I mean, like I said, we're only level 14, so the questing is not really anything to write home about. It's okay. It's not bad. It's not good. It's just average standard MMO questing. So, yeah, I wouldn't really play it for that. If anything, so far, I would recommend buying this game for the PvP. I think that's going to be the fun of the game. I think this is going to be just a very fun game to go out and just kill people, wage wars, and you know, craft up, get some awesome looking gear and things like that. But that's just my first impression so far. Like I said, maybe the content gets better down the road. If I had to give it an initial review score, I would say 7.5 or an 8. That's where I'd put it. But that's strong coming from me. You know, I'm not a game reviewer that thinks that 5 is the worst that there possibly is, right? 5's like average, in my opinion. So, you know, if a game was bad, I'd rate it probably a 1 or a 2, right? And you just don't really see too many of those anymore unless the game's just absolute dog shit. And also performance-wise, I guess I should comment on that as the final thing. It runs pretty good, honestly. I mean, once you're in the game and once you get past the queue, the game runs pretty smooth. I mean, I'm running here with, you know, Streamlabs OBS open and everything at a solid, you know, 40 to 60. And that's just because we're in the city. Once we go out, that bumps up usually about 80 or 90 on my rig. I've got it on medium. But I mean, as far as like server issues and things like that, once you get in, I haven't had really any issues at all. And it runs pretty stable for the most part. So performance-wise, you may have some pop-in every now and again, but really no big issues. I mean, there definitely are some minor bugs to be had. I mean, I've definitely encountered a few minor bugs here or there. Nothing too game-breaking, but some things that are kind of minor annoyances and things like that. But no, I mean, nothing I can really complain about, honestly. The game runs smooth, and like I said, once you get past the server boss, you're not really going to run into too many issues, to be honest with you. So yeah, that's my first impressions of New World on the first day. I'm going to be playing a lot today. If you are playing it, we've got our own guild right now with a few different people. So be sure to check us out. Let's see. How many people we got? We got 10 members so far, but I know more are coming, and more people are trying to play. So yeah, be sure to hit us up if you're on Play Roma, or send me a message if you want to join the guild. I'm just Beardson Beardly in the game. You know, same as my name, Beardson space Beardly. Be sure to hit me up and send me an invite. Let's go fucking kill some people. All right. Anyways, I'm gonna head out. Beardson Beardly signing out. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, yada yada yada, etc., etc., etc. And hopefully I'll see you in the New World. All right. Bye bye.